Okay, all set up at the Superior Farmers Market. We got goat milk soap. We've got lotion. We've got face scrub. Down on Main Street in the food court, here till 1 o'clock. Come on down. Well, y'all are sure quiet today. Did you finally lose your voice, love bug? Alrighty, Saturday night, same stuff, different day. Everybody is fed and watered. All I got left to do is turning the water system off and draining the hoses and milk the goats. And then I can go sit down for a while. Oh, I take that back. I can't sit down right away. I gotta unload the stuff out of the car. And I had a lady text me for an order of soap and lotion and things. So I gotta put her order together and she'll be by to pick it up in the morning. And then maybe I can sit down. Good morning. Mary here from High Song Grows. And it's Sunday. And since I had to play plumber the other day and it took up my whole day, I'm going to go back up here and see if I can get any T-posts pounded this morning and work on Bentley's pen while I wait for it to warm up a little bit more to work on some other projects. Okay, you can see we're a little bit cattywampus here because these posts aren't perfectly lined up and parallel to each other. But especially this corner is going to be his little shelter. I'm planning that that'll be the back wall of his little shelter. So it's not going to be a big deal on this one. Down at the other three corners will be more of a big deal. So let's keep going. Okay, so next project for today is to re-insulate all these pipes because that foam on there is getting kind of old and crummy and coming apart. I still haven't figured out exactly what to do about this pressure pump. Hopefully we won't get super cold before I figure something out. I'm not sure, but I do have a call into the gentleman that fixed it for me, because last winter we hit like about 18 degrees and the housing split open. And I'm thinking that there is only water in this part. And that's what I want to confirm with him. That the rest of this is a motor and that there's just water running in this part of it, like from this pipe and then up through this pipe. There's a pressure gauge there, and then it goes from there over to the pressure tanks. So I think I might be able to just wrap this part in insulation of some kind and leave this open, the motor part open. So, but I want to confirm that with him because he's taken it apart and rebuilt it and stuff for me. But, so I'll wait and do that part later after I talk to him. But today I'm going to work on all of these other bits and pieces. Okay, checking in on the shampoo bars. I've got a little bit more lye and one more lump of milk to put in here. And then might need to warm the oil up just a tad. It's getting pretty solid. Alrighty, I got the shampoo bars poured. I had only gotten 3 molds. That only makes 9 bars. Oh, chickens. Yes, I'm coming. So I was just starting to do chores. There's 2 different sets of folks stopped by to pick up their orders. So I'm a little late getting around to everybody. And I still got to go hook up the water so I can fill water buckets. So, yeehaw. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'm thinking, have I forgotten anything? I fed the goats all their hay, and I fed the chickens and filled up some water buckets, and I fed the dog and the cats. And I went and gave the boys their afternoon snack. I just turned the water off at the well. I got to walk up and open all the valves. And then I might have 5 minutes to sit down before it's time to go milk. Okay. Alrighty. And now it's time to milk. I'm a little bit later than I have been milking in the evening. But, oh well. Such is our life. Huh. You're such a good girl, Esmeralda. Okay. My battery was dying in the phone out there at the milk stand, so I had to quit filming. So we are plugged into the wall now for a little bit so we can get some stuff done. If you noticed in some of the video when I was milking, it looks like there's all kinds of stuff floating around in the air. That's dust. That's how dry and dusty we are right now. It hasn't rained in, I don't even know when. Let me go look. Okay. The last rain I got was half an inch on the 15th of September, and today is the 15th of December. So, yeah, it's really bad. And Digger Dog is in the pen next to the goats, and so he was over there messing around and stirring up the dust. So that's what that was. I thought at first maybe it was my camera lens, but no, it's just all the dust in the air. I see it especially at night in my headlamp because my headlamp lights up all the little things in the air. Alrighty, it's Monday. Everybody has been fed. Esmeralda's been milked. The milk's put away. The dishes are washed. Now we're going to make some lotion. I've been running my little electric heater in here in my room to help warm things up because otherwise it's too cold and the lotion sets up too fast and I can't pour it. So here we go. It's Wednesday. I basically spent the entire day in the house making soap, lotion, face scrub. The soap isn't finished, but I got the lotion made, face scrub done, washed up most of the stuff, and ran to the store and got some feed, and now it's time to do chores. Yeah, the girls aren't really liking the hay that we are in right now. It's got a lot of real coarse stems in it and not so much fine leaf. And they're really picking through it. And they are dropping a fair amount on the ground in spite of having the hay feeders. But you got something on your face there, honey. Where's your jump piece? Come here. Oh, come here, silly. Oh, you got it. Okay. Hi, baby. What's you doing? Hi, baby girl. Yeah. You're a good girl. Yeah. You're a good girl. Yeah. I don't love how my iPhone doesn't zoom in real good. But that's a hawk. sitting up there on the flower stalk of a cactus. There it goes. I'm not for sure what kind of hawk that is. I think maybe a Cooper's are the biggest ones we've got. I'll have to ask my birding friend. She'll know. Hello, Bentley. Yes, I will be with you in a moment. Yes, it will just take me a minute to get the water and stuff hooked up. Just be patient. That's why I don't really like rope sorts of toys with Digger, because if you're next to him, that will leave a bruise. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that was my hand, dude. You don't have very good aim. You don't have very good aim. That was my hand. Okay, this dude is going to be 3 years old in April, and we still have like a 3-month-old puppy brain. I mean, I know that these big dogs are slow to mature, but this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Yes, you're getting to be a little bit ridiculous. You are a ridiculous dog. I don't normally give Bentley and Bashful their little snacks, some hay pellets and some grain, until after I feed the chickens and the cats and the dog. But Bentley's getting a little rambunctious up there, and I need to go in and do his water buckets and check his minerals. So I'm going to do that now, and that way he'll be occupied. That worked out pretty perfectly, because I was able to clean and rinse out his water buckets and refill one, and I've got the other one filling up. He just finished his grain and pellets, so whew. Alrighty. Today's Wednesday, and it's almost time to do chores. How many times do I say that in a week, right? Things have been okay. Not going as fast as I would like. Didn't get to everything I wanted to get to, but the other day I did finally finish the batch of oatmeal and lavender soap. It's in the freezer now, so that it will come out of its molds easier. The rounds are batches, is a batch of plain unscented shampoo bars, goat milk shampoo bars. Sorry. I don't know why I only ended up with 3 of the little molds that say shampoo bar on them, but I did, and apparently I haven't dialed this recipe in real well for the amount made, because we had extra. That's in the red silicone mold, which is not as big a bar as the clear plastic ones, but we'll figure those out later. I do need to order more molds. And then this is also a batch of, this will be lilac soap, goat milk soap. And I've been waiting for the last bits of milk to melt. When I make goat milk soap, there is no other, there's no water in it at all. The liquid is all milk, which I freeze. And then we put a little tiny bit of lye on a frozen lump of milk and let it melt and start dissolving the lye. And we do that all day long until all the lye and all the milk are mixed together. You can see we still got a couple little bits of milk. And one of the things I'm discovering, well, we aren't super cold. It is only getting up to mostly about 68, maybe 70. And the inside of my house is cold because I heat with wood. And unless it's snowing or something, I don't make a fire in the morning. I just get up and get dressed. And so my house is pretty chilly all day. And what I've discovered when I was pouring the shampoo bars was that my oils and fats had actually started to harden back up because they were cold. And so I may have to actually warm the fat back up a little bit before I pour the lye mix in, because that's why the tops of those bars are a little fugly, because the fats were too cold and thick when I put the milk and lye mix in. And so instead of having a nice, smooth, easy to blend liquid, we had kind of a thick paste. But it's okay. It looks just like it should. It will be just fine as far as the end product goes. It just was a little difficult to get a nice pour, because it didn't really pour. I had to like shovel it into the molds and pack it down instead of being able to pour just a thick liquid. So, but I probably will not get back in and get this batch of soap poured until after milking this evening, because it is time to go do chores. Alrighty, check in with the girls. So Miss Bambi here is about 9 weeks pregnant, and as you can see, the two sides of her belly are not quite exactly the same. So her left side is lunch. That's where her rumen is where she's packing all that hay. And then her right side, they'll say that's the rugrats. That's where the kids are. And now she's always been a little wide, so I don't think she's any wider now than she normally is. Maybe a touch. Everybody laid today. Good job, girls. Good job. Alrighty. I got that lilac soap poured after I came in from milking. I think I'll probably pull the oatmeal and lavender out of the freezer and pop the shampoo bars in. And then the lilac soap will go in the freezer tomorrow. It just using these plastic stiff molds. If I freeze the soap, then usually I can just turn them upside down and just let them sit, and in a few minutes the soap just falls out of it, and I don't have to work real hard at getting it out of those molds. Good morning. Mary here with High Song Grows, bringing you Farmer Friday. As you've seen, we were fairly busy in the house this week making goat milk lotion and soap and sugar scrub and shampoo bars and things like that. And this morning we're going to see if I can get out here and get a couple of T-posts put in for this new buck pen for Bentley. Kind of behind schedule on doing this. The weather has been nice, unseasonably warm actually, and extraordinarily dry for this time of year. But it's kind of been a blessing in disguise to be able to get outdoor things done. Because both of these holes I'm working on have rocks or roots right in the way. So, and the ground is all dried out, so I put some more water in them. That usually helps at least a little bit. When it's too dry, the ground just sort of crumbles and falls into the hole, and it won't stay as a hole. So a little water will help that. And then I'm thinking, oh, I forgot to buy the shorter T-posts that I meant to buy for the corner bracing. So I got to figure out how many of those I need. I might have one laying around the yard, so I could probably, if I got to the corner today, I could probably do at least one side of it, but I know I don't have enough to do the whole pen. So we'll need 2 braces there, 2 braces there, and 1 brace right there, because the other side of that's going to be a gate. And can't put the brace in there, it'll be in the way. So think about what I can do instead this morning. I'm glad that brain cell kicked in. I forgot I have a hay delivery coming today, so I got to get this mess cleaned up. Okay, that's all done. Next, unload the rest of the feed out of the car. And we're making another batch of shampoo bars. I think I will probably put the rosemary in this batch, because I have like about 18 large bars made up and some smaller bars of unscented, so I think we'll start making the rosemary essential oil. And then I've had a lot of people asking for all the other scents, so we'll see how far we get in the next few weeks. Decided I was hungry before I unload the car. We're going to have breakfast. The last box of mushrooms that I got on sale the other day. And I have a duck egg and probably a couple of chicken eggs to throw in there in a minute. The best laid plans. Well, that was an hour. My hay dealer dropped my hay, and at the same time as he was getting ready to leave, my customer came to pick up an order, and so I still haven't ate breakfast, and it's almost an hour later. So we're gonna sit down and eat, and then we will work on unloading feed. Alrighty, time to get this car unloaded. I cannot carry an 80-pound bag of hay pellets anywhere. I can pick it up and I can get it in the car, but I can't carry it anywhere. So I just scoop it into multiple smaller bags. Well, the best laid plans. I did get the feed unloaded out of the car, and I actually had an extra feed sack and picked up some trash out of the car and some trash that was laying around in the driveway. I went and hung out the load of laundry, and that's when I realized that I need to go to the store, because I usually go on Sunday mornings, but this Sunday I have to work, and Sunday evening is our Christmas potluck at work. And then, of course, Wednesday is Christmas, and I go to my son's house on Christmas. And I need a couple of things from the store to make things to take to these places. So off we go. Alrighty, that was a pretty quick trip to the store. But now I need to do some more stuff in the house and kind of plan out, at least in my head, what I'm making and when I need to get it made, so that I'm ready to roll and don't forget and leave anything behind. So and I'm thinking that I have a lot of older milk that I need to skim some cream off of. Some of it might be too old and just need to go to the chickens. And the rest I need to probably make into some cheese. So we will get that started. And of course, the never-ending dishwashing. I've got a pot here that I made soap in the other day that needs washed, and I've got some miscellaneous dishes and things that need washed, some milk jars. you some Clabber cheese today. And this is about a gallon of milk, and I'm warming it up to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, well, nothing else. Let's see if we can finish up these shampoo bars. I'll see if I can set you up where you can see what I'm doing. I don't know. I did have to put the oils back on the burner for a couple minutes because the coconut oil had totally solidified, and I just didn't want to have the issue I had the other day where it was too thick. So, okay, so this is a little bit warm. My milk and lye is still a little bit cold. I think it'll be all right. Get our stick blender. Put on a pair of gloves because if you get the lye mixture on you at this point, it will burn. As long as you don't get it in your eyeballs or something, it's not horrible. It just is kind of burning and stinging. And the antidote for that is vinegar. Because lye is an extreme base, very alkaline, and the vinegar neutralizes it. So, alrighty. Make sure that all of our lye has dissolved. I can usually feel if I press my spatula on the bottom of the container, I can feel if there's any lye crystals left down in there, and this feels pretty good. So we're going to pour that into our oils and fats. You always pour your lye mix into the fat. You never pour the fat into the lye. The same way with you always pour the lye crystals into your liquid that you're dissolving, whether you're using milk or water. You never pour the milk or water into the lye because you have a chemical reaction and it will kind of explode. So now we're going to mix it up. Let's see if you can see in the pot. So, I don't know if it shows up, but it is beginning to get thick, and it's getting, well, most of it is shiny. There are traces on the surface that look duller, and that means we're starting to get to trace, which is where the soap is beginning to thicken up. And this is the point I'm going to add my rosemary essential oil. And this is not but a few grams for this small batch of shampoo bars. I do use a calculator. There's 2 or 3 of them on the internet at different suppliers. And that's what I use to calculate how much is acceptable for skincare products and hair care products. Okay, I'm gonna blend this a little bit more. And I would recommend, if you're doing any soap or lotion or anything, that you go to one of those websites and use the calculators to make sure you don't get too much fragrance, and also the lye calculators, because they will tell you how much lye and how much liquid and how much fat for your batch. And don't just rely on just a recipe you found on the internet. Run it through a calculator, especially if you change any of the oils. Oils are not just straight interchangeable. I had a lady was kind of mad at me because I use olive oil in my soap, and she had a family member that was allergic to olive oil and couldn't use anything that it was in, and she said including soap, because I just wondered if the saponification process would change it enough that it wouldn't be the same as if you ate it or got it on your skin straight. And she said, oh no, she couldn't even do any soap, and she wanted me to make it without it. And I was like, well, you can't just do that. You can't just trade oils. You have to recalculate your whole recipe if you are changing things up like that. So no, I can't do that, because then I'd have to change my labels and I would have to change everything. This still looks a little bit thin. I'm just gonna stir it up some more and wait for it to thicken up just a little bit more. It see if we can show you. So it is coming to trace. You can see that it leaves bumps on the surface, and it's not running back into the not running back in and being flat liquid. I'm just going to stir it up a little bit more and then pour it into the molds. You don't want to wait too long after you start coming to trace, because then you will get too thick and have a problem getting it poured into the molds. Also, some fragrance and essential oils, when you put them in, will cause the soap to kind of seize up. It will actually get hard and thick very, very quickly, like in just a minute. And so you have to kind of know. Most of the wholesale places that I order from have information on their website about each product that will tell you how it behaves in cold processed soap. And there's something has fallen in my soap. You know, I think that was probably a hay leaf or something. Let's see, where did it go? It was like a little tiny stem. I've lost it now. It probably fell off my shirt. I don't know where it went. Maybe it's stuck on the spoon. Okay. Well, that's the way things go around here, you know. So I'm going to start pouring. And that's about as thick as I like to pour soap. A little bit thinner wouldn't be horrible. Just makes it a little easier to get these even. Because remember, it's getting thicker and thicker as we go. And I did reduce this recipe. It was making way too much before, and I reduced it. because I want to just fill up these molds that I've got until I can get some more molds purchased and get them here. But we'll see what we end up with. It looks like it might come out just about right. This is not the easiest pot to pour out of. I'm used to doing 5-pound batches of soap, and I have a big tall pot that I use for those big batches. So this is a little awkward because it's so small, and I don't want to get the shampoo batter on me yet, because it does still have some free lye in it, and I don't really want to get it on me or my clothes if I can help it. Oh, this might be perfect though. Let's see. Whoa, almost biffed it there. I'm shaking out air bubbles and I'm getting these leveled out, and then this is just a paint stirring stick that I cut down, and it fits my regular soap molds perfectly. And as you can see, those were a little bit overfull. It's deceptive because the soap can, this one looks a little underfull, because the soap can just kind of pile up on the top in the center. Okay, that one looks all right. These look okay. That one's a little bit overfull. And these guys are just about right. A little overfull there, that's okay. It's not much. Okay, and so now my shampoo bars are done, and I probably got time to sit down about 5 minutes before it's time to go do chores. I had some really old milk that was getting way too old, starting to taste goaty. Wouldn't even use it for cheese or anything, so it goes to the chickens, and they really enjoy it. On my third round of dishwashing today. No, I do not have a dishwasher. There is no way to put a dishwasher in my falling down 100-year-old manor shack. What I need is a whole new house, but that's probably not happening in this lifetime. So we're just making do with what we got. And yes, it really is time to go do chores. I did a couple of little things. Dumped some milk and took it to the chickens. You saw that. And now we're washing all those jars so that we can put them away. And then have another lady coming sometime this afternoon to pick up an order of stuff. And in the meantime, we got to get ready to go outside and feed and water. This has been a really busy week in a lot of ways. Oh, I did fold up some of the stuff that was hanging on the indoor clothesline, because like I forget that, you know, there's tall people, so when other people come to my house, they're like the laundry's flapping in their face as they walk through the living room, and it's way up above my head, so I don't think about it. I don't put my little small things like washcloths and socks and things out on the clothesline because it would be too much of a pain with all those clothespins. I just throw them over a line in the living room to dry, so. So there's always a line of clothes in the living room. Oh, well, that's what it is. Alrighty. So let's talk about how dry we are. I'm in Arizona. I'm about 90 miles east of Phoenix. And I'm thinking Phoenix maybe has had more rain this year than I've had. I'm going to put my little record for June, July, and August and September up right here. And as you can see, we have not had a whole lot of rain the last few months. My ground is really super, super dry. I normally have a really beautiful, productive fall and winter garden. And this year, I haven't even planted anything yet because we have been so hot and so dry this fall. Even the prickly pear plant down the road a ways is all wrinkled and shriveled up because there's not been enough rain. So I'm probably not gonna plant a whole lot of garden stuff because I don't know what it's gonna be like this year. I do need to look at the Farmer's Almanac and see what kind of predictions they're making. They did predict a warmer and drier winter, and that is definitely coming true. I'm trying to split this down a little bit because that's too much for one boy, but this little sliver isn't enough for two. So, anyway, I'm contemplating what I'm gonna do garden-wise. Like normally I would have had peas already planted and they would have been coming up and not blooming yet or anything, but making some good growth. And I would have, this time last year I had spinach and lettuce and pak choy and radishes, and this year I haven't even planted anything, like I said, because I'm just scared of not having enough water between the goats and the chickens. If it's now not right now while we're as cool as we are, because we're, you know, at or almost freezing at night and only about 68, 72 in the daytime. But if it's any warmer than that, it takes about 100 gallons a day to water all the goats and chickens. And say my well was to run dry and I had to pay for that, that's a significant amount of water to have to buy it from the water company, because we have tiered rates and they calculate about that much for the lowest tier and anything over that. So if I had to buy water for everything, then all the water I used in the house would be in the second tier, which costs more per gallon because that's how the water is done here. So it's not like the people that live down, in the valley in Phoenix and Tucson, where they have the Salt River Project, and some of those places get flood irrigation. We don't have any of that up here in the mountains. So this year could be really scary for water. And that means it will be super scary for wildfires. I mean, we've already had fires this month. It's December. And we have a wildfire burning over in some mountains kind of northeast of me. And that's really scary for us to have wildfires this time of year. So I don't know what's going to happen. Now, I do have a nice bed of garlic growing. I do have a drip irrigation system on this bed, and it's doing pretty good. So I run the water every couple of weeks. Oops, that one's getting kind of naked there. Let's get that plant covered up. But, oh, that one's uncovering another one. Hang on. Birds and things come and scratch around in here. Need to just get everybody covered up. And I see some dampness over there. Let me look at that. That's okay. It's just barely perceptible. I just have, there was an old drip line here, and that is got this valve on it, which the connections are leaking a little bit. And apparently the valve itself is not shutting totally off. But it's okay. It's not a huge amount of water. There's nothing in this bed but compost stuff. So just basically one giant compost pile that's just sitting here waiting for rain, for moisture, so it can finish composting. And then the original plan was probably to plant squash or pumpkins or something in it this summer, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the water situation is like. Something's been digging around over here and raking the mulch off the bed. Need to put some more stuff up here. I don't know if the cats are doing that or the birds or what. But the garlic is looking good, so I will be happy for that. It'll be ready about June. Garlic and onions take a long time here. Well, I guess that's about it for this week. Just lots of goat milk product making so I can get caught up and restocked. Trying to work on Bentley's new pen that I just don't seem to be able to get very, very fast progress on. You know, and just trying to keep up on household stuff and not get too far behind there. But it's been a pretty good week overall. So I hope y'all have had a good week. Y'all have a good night and a good next week. And a happy solstice, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.